Hello, Miss Ginger Bailey. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Very good. Hi, Eric. I
Good.
hear you and Ginger are going to teach us about how to develop one of the clairs for today,
hmm
clairvoyance. And
Yes,
you
he
can
says,
describe that, etc. You can say what that is. But first, I love you.
yeah, he's saying, I love you, Mama. I love you. He
And Ginger's
just so
information is
sweet.
going to be in the description box of this YouTube. All right,
Yeah.
let her rip.
All right. So first thing Eric says is clairvoyance is one of our clairs. Okay, we have a lot of clairs, but the main ones are the clear seeing, which is clairvoyance, and then I know you're going to go over them later, but you got clairaudient, clairsentient, and
Cognizant?
the cognizant, and that's the
Yep.
one so that's the thinking, then the clairaudience, the hearing, and sentient. So clairvoyance is the clear seeing, and what he says is clairvoyance is a psychic ability that everybody has, and it's part of the human experience. They use it every day. They may not realize they do, but they do. And there's ways
Really?
to improve on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's ways to improve on it. And if, for instance, an example is, so there's so many things that you use it for, but an example is like, if, say you're talking to somebody and you can't see the person, like, and I tell a lot of my clients, it's like, if you're talking to someone on the phone and you've never met them before, your brain, your human brain wants to make a connection. So it'll automatically start to see what that person looks like. You'd be surprised, you know how you like visualize who you're talking to, even though you don't know what they look like. So you'd be surprised if you validated, which you're not going to ask them what they look like, but if you tried to validate that, how close you would be, because the brain really does pick up on that energy.
That's
Um,
interesting because I never have been able to see until very recently Liz Cross, because in our sessions we can only see her name because she works so closely with very like mafia cases,
yeah,
etc.
yeah.
So for safety purposes, but I saw her and it wasn't
Oh,
like I imagined. It's funny.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that is one of the things, that shows that you have it. Everybody has it. So like anything, practice makes better, of course, and to improve your skills, you need to, do certain things to practice at it. And practice is the biggest one with all the clairs, with all
Yeah.
of them,
Yes.
and any kind of, psychic. Now, not everybody wants to be a psychic medium, even though everybody has the clairvoyance, but it still can help you in your everyday life, right? So you don't have to like improve it just to, work as a job as a psychic
Yeah.
medium like I do. You improve it because it will like bring more, like a better understanding, to your life. You'll see better, like through people. That's kind of like something that you do too with clairvoyance. You can kind of see through somebody in a
What do you
way,
mean?
like how, like seeing through them. Like, say you're talking to somebody, you just, whether you just met them or somebody you already know, it doesn't matter. And they're telling you something, you'll like, it's almost like they use that as a clear seeing, by saying like you kind of see through if they're telling the truth or
Oh,
if
I
they're
see.
making it up, or
Right.
yeah, like the clairvoyance picks up on that.
Oh,
Now that's all of the clairs working together. I have to say, they don't like
yeah.
really work separate. They
Oh,
do
yeah.
work
'Cause
together. You
I'm
got your
sure there's a
your
little
instinct.
kind of cognizance there too, in
Yes,
seeing through
yeah,
people. All right, cool.
right, absolutely, absolutely. um this is one of the spiritual senses too, that like children, Erik is saying, he's like talking about how children can see so clear, because they don't have life getting in the way, and they have that
Yes.
innocence and that belief, and this kind of fades a little bit with some, not everybody. Somebody keep it their whole life,
Yeah.
but you can get it back, even though it starts to fade a little with life getting in the way, and whatever else, messes with your beliefs.
Yeah.
He says that there's things that you can do, and he gives me these steps on how to improve your clairvoyance.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so one of the ways is a practice visualizing, like visualize all the time. Like try to
Visualize an
anytime.
orange, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Visualize, try to visualize, like say you're sitting somewhere and you're hearing things, okay, like a sound, you can just sit there and listen to sound and try to visualize what it looks like instead of paying attention to what it
Oh.
sounds like is one.
Mm.
Also, I'm going to share these right here. These ESP cards, I think they made these back in the 60s. They're just ESP testing cards, and they have, I don't know if you can see them, they have like the green star, they have a yellow circle, black square, oops, blue, and a red cross that I just dropped on the ground. But anyway, they come in like you can make your own. You don't have to pay any money. You can make your own. Now, why they're colored is because you turn them over, you like lay them down flat and turn them over, and then you can touch them. Put your hand either over them or touch them and have them mixed up. You don't know what's underneath, and then pay attention to what comes into your mind, and always ask your guides. Your guides, Erik says, will help you tremendously if you rely on them for help with all your, psychic gifts and skills and growth. But anyway, you'll either get like a color or you'll get a shape, or both, and that's visualizing, using your visualizing skill to improve your clairvoyance. Okay. Another one is meditate. Okay. Meditation is really good because it gets you control over your mind. Now it's interesting because I've been doing this since I was a teenager, because I used to have racing thoughts in my mind, and I'd have like things coming in and I didn't know why I had things popping into my clairvoyance. I didn't understand that, as a teenager, but I knew I didn't like it. And so, I would practice, and I didn't even know really that I was doing meditation, but I would practice like getting rid of like certain things, like having control over whatever comes in, which I'm going to go over here in a minute. Erik talks about getting, like dealing with like unwanted thoughts that come in, because some people have clairvoyance that does like flashing, like they have flashing, visualize things that they don't want to see, and that does happen. You will. For example, if you're around like a group of people, okay, you go into a group of people and say there's some or even some lower, energy, earthbounds, okay, and use the room too, like a packed room, because it's hard to focus, get more focus when you're, a strong empath and psychic medium. You have the psychic medium, Claire's shooting off, and you don't realize what's going on. So you'll get unwanted flashes of maybe someone's face that comes in because they're connected to somebody that's in that room, or you get thoughts, other people's thoughts will pop into your mind. Okay. You'll pick up on others' thoughts. And that's going to be one of the other ones. It's for practicing too, mind reading, but, yeah. So, and he's making a good point right now. That's a good point, Erik. He says that with the planets vibration raising, and things are changing, more people are coming into their skills, their spiritual gifts, their skills. And even though I want to say something, even though everybody has this skill, and this is me, Ginger, saying this, everybody has this, there are some that are more gifted than others, just like there's people that are more gifted singers or talented athletes, but everybody can work on it and get to a certain level of their skill level. And everybody's different, and everybody filters different. That's another thing with clairvoyance, filtering. Your filtering is different, and the way that you think about things and things that you've experienced in life. So meditation is a good one to get mind control over your mind. Journaling your dreams, journaling your thoughts that come in, paying attention to what comes in, and then paying attention maybe to like what it comes out to be. Like maybe you dream, something about something that's going to happen, because people do have precognitive dreams and don't always realize it, because you're not sitting there changing the channel all day, checking your dreams to see if it's happening in the world,
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So Erik says that you if you keep track of this, that sometimes this will help you pay attention to your patterns, like your visual patterns that you get in your dreams and stuff. Now, there are people, he says, that are going to say, I don't remember my dreams.
Yeah.
Okay. This is common. All right. But if there's something you can do before you go to sleep at night, talk to your guides and ask them to help you try to remember your dreams. And right when you wake up in the morning, I mean, don't start thinking about your day. Try to remember the last thing that you were doing or the last thing that happened. Okay. And that sometimes will help. But I will tell you that vivid dreaming is one of the biggest signs of your clairs coming in to be, strong, like, not your clairvoyance, not all your clairs, but your clairvoyance, coming in to be like, strong. You'll start, having these dreams that feel real, so real, and you'll start to remember them. So I used to not remember my dreams all the time. And then the more I worked on this, the more they started coming. Now I have some crazy dreams.
I have so crazy dreams.
I
got with that.
I got to share this one last night. I had this dream that I was working at the hospital, and the new crew or whatever that were going to be my coworkers, I was going to drop something off or something, and all of a sudden I hear some kind of like loud yelling or something, and they start coming out, and they were like little Lego people.
Oh, wow, that is funny.
It gets funnier. So they're Lego people, and they're asking me what I'm doing there, and they all just lift these guns up like they're going to shoot me. And I was like, okay, so I'm going to get shot by Lego people.
Oh,
and then,
way to go.
I know, right? And I was telling my daughter about it this morning. I was like, why am I dreaming about Lego people? But that's just kind of a crazy dream, you know. But when it's a vivid dream and it's your clairvoyance maybe giving you a message or a sign, you're gonna feel it, and you're not gonna forget it. You're gonna like know it throughout the day. It'll come back to you. Loved ones visit you in your dreams. So, those will be very vivid and strong. So anyway, that's one of a sure sign that your clairvoyance is coming into being stronger. Okay, so another one is practicing psycho. How do you say this? How do you say this, Erik? Hold on a second, I'll get it. Psychometry. Psychometry. Oh, I couldn't get the word out. So,
can't remember.
Psychometry is when you hold an item in your hand and try to get what maybe somebody who it belonged to. Now you're going to need someone to validate this for you if it's an item that you don't, because it should be something you don't know anything about, the person, because then it's hard to validate if you already know about it. So it's saying metal's the best. Metal or stone is the best to use, but that's why people will take jewelry. Sometimes you see a psychic say, can I have an item like jewelry or something? And that tells you a lot about somebody. It'll tell you maybe what they look like or their personality. It could tell you all kinds of things about them. Wow. So that's fun. That's a fun thing to practice. And then let's see, what is the other, Erik? What's the other one you were talking about? Oh, mind reading, he said. So this is fun. And we do this in my sessions for the mediumship. Yeah. So mind reading, and me and my husband will do this sometimes too. So find somebody that you're close to, and try to like sit there and kind of calm your mind. Just focus on the now. You don't have to meditate or anything. You just kind of focus on right now. And then ask them to think of something, and then try and ask your guides. I always ask my guides to help you bring in what they're thinking about or what the thought is. And when you say it, it may not be like word for word. Like one time I think I thought my husband was thinking of trout and I said fish. So it's going to be similar though. But this is a good thing to do too, because you get visuals. Now this is good for all the clairs to do. The mind reading, because it's not just visuals you'll get. And I will say that most people, we use them all, but most people use, unless there's somebody who's a very visual person, but a lot of people will use that claircognizance mostly. Yeah. Because mine mainly. Yeah. And that's because, and one of the reasons they don't realize it is because it's just constantly something you do all the time. So you feel like it's natural, Yeah. So unless you start practicing and seeing how different it is, then you don't really know. But the clairvoyance works like that too. You get flashes of things. So Okay, I think that was most of them. Mostly Eric says, just really remember to call on your spirit guides for this, because they will help you with all of it.
Yeah.
It makes it a lot stronger. Another thing he wants to talk about is not like we were talking about clearing your mind, getting rid of thoughts. Okay. So what he says is there's a few things that you can do.
I know. Order a got junk service to come in and take the shit out of my mind. There's too much up there. Got drunk, got drunk, got junk,
Got junk.
Okay, but
well,
proceed.
That's a good idea, because that's kind of what it is. You get too much going on up there, and you need to clear out that space, right? But something that he talks about is one of the easiest ways, okay, when you have things flashing in your mind, and not just visuals, thoughts, things that you don't want.
Yeah.
He says, replace them with positive. Replace it with a positive word or two. And do it over and over repetitiously to keep that thought gone. Replace it. We are probably the worst humans, he says, talking mean to ourselves, right? We'll be more likely to say something mean to ourselves before we would to our worst enemy. Right. And so he says, like, when you get these negative thoughts, replace them with positive ones. An example is, I'm great, I'm good, good things are coming, good things always happen. I'm just little short things just to say and
it's
a
word like love, maybe.
Right, exactly. The easier the better to replace these thoughts and get rid of them, and it will help. It will. Because the mind actually can only focus really on one thing at a time. It seems like you're focusing on more at a time, but it really is one thing at a time. And that's why meditation works so well when you just focus on one thing. Other things may come in, but it really isn't coming in at the same time. It just feels like it because it's so fast. And then he says, those are kind of like affirmations too, he said. You can do like affirmations to reprogram your mind too. Mm-hmm. An example is good things always come to me, or I'm open for all good things that come in, just any of the positive affirmations. There's so many of them. Beyond countable.
Is it helpful to create a visual, like when you think the word love connected to
absolutely
love? I mean, will that
absolutely
okay. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. The more you can visualize the positive, the better it is to get rid of and get rid of the negative. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and then he says, then there's another way you can do it. And this was one that I used a lot when I was a kid. I used to seem like in my mind, everything going on in my mind is like on a chalkboard.
Oh yeah.
And then I would take an eraser and erase it.
Oh,
and every time it come in, I didn't like it, I erase it. I would
do like monkey mind. I would take a monkey and a thought and toss it away and get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah. That works too. Anytime you're doing that, you're not focusing on the thought.
That's true.
You get rid of it. So erasing it, you can do any kind of erasing. You don't have to be a chalkboard. You can just like spray it off the wall, or there's all kinds of visuals you can use, and this improves your visualization too. By the way, while you're doing this, getting rid of these thoughts will help you get control of your mind, and also in turn build clairvoyant skill, or power it more. He's got like a telescope on his third eye. He's got like I don't know. What do you do? He's got like when the doctors have those glasses and they have like
right.
Yeah, he's got one on his third eye.
Oh, Eric.
He'll do that to me. I'll just he'll be all serious or something. I turn around and he does something like that, and it just catches me off guard every time. Yeah. It's funny. He's trying to open his third eye. He's focusing in.
I heard that if you put what do you call those little candle? What do you call those small candles? Anyway, and if you
the tea light candles.
It's like tea light candles, and like for 5 minutes or less, or between 5 and 10 minutes or something. Just try to put it at the level of your third eye.
Mm-hmm.
um, every day for a certain number of days? Does that help? Aspire?
Yeah, here's something he says that's really important to know about the third eye. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
that's why he just did that
Yeah.
with the zooming in and out. Because I know that there are some, and everybody has their own ways of believing in something. I know there's some that say you close and open your third eye. There's ways to do that. But here's the thing. Our third eye, in my opinion, and what Erik tells me, is always open.
Always open. Yeah.
It's always open. It's just a matter of focusing on it or not focusing on it. So that could be a way of saying I'm closing it or something. But those are all visualized. Like if you visualize closing your third eye, that's another way to clear out thoughts, maybe too. I mean, it depends on what you believe.
Well, don't you want it open for clairvoyance?
Well, yeah, absolutely. But like we were just talking about clearing your mind of thoughts that you don't want, maybe, you know, if you have things popping in. But mostly it's always open, he says. And it's just a matter of focusing on it. And so anything you do like that, like you're talking about, will help you get better with your third eye and focus on it more. So yes, absolutely it helps, he said. Absolutely. Crystals help.
Oh,
like Raylene, you know how she does the crystal, like on, those help. Those will help. They strengthen it. You can use amethyst and or the crystal quartz are really good for that. Okay. So another way he says to clear out thoughts, and this again strengthens the clairvoyance, is put a bubble of divine light around it. Take your thought in there, the thoughts, and put a bubble of divine light. And this is kind of what I do when I'm done with sessions, because I always encircle all my sessions with divine light. You take this bubble and then you just hand it over to your guides or hand it over to the universe, and then they just take it out. They take it out and they take care of it. Okay, you put it on them, and they're happy to help always. So that's another way. You can also visualize, he says, like you're turning your mind on and off. I know people that do that. He said that, he's saying that you can like see it like a TV or a screen or something, and you're just turning on and off. There are many other ways, but these are just some to get people started on clearing your mind.
Shut down.
Yeah. And it is, he just said it is a form. Yeah, he says it is a form of meditation in a way when you're doing that, because you're trying to get control of your mind, and that's all meditation is.
That's true.
Is getting control over your thoughts, you know, or maybe you want to have other thoughts to come in, you know. So there's so many different ways to meditate. Okay, so something else he wants to talk about is just some signs. And we started talking about this earlier, just a few signs that your clairvoyance is getting stronger, he says. He says, like we were talking about dreams, your dreams become more vivid. You start to get precog dreams, you know, thoughts of the future or dreams of the future. He says, seeing energy, like auras, seeing energy around things, is your clairvoyance getting stronger. He says that your clairvoyance this is cool, is when you see energy, you can see it with your eyes or in your mind. So if you don't see like color around somebody, you know, in an aura, it's okay. Ask your guides to show you in your third eye, like in your mind, and they will.
Oh, yeah.
And so you'll see like
color, aura.
Yeah. Right. And they'll either tell you. Yeah, I know. Huh? They'll either tell you, you'll hear it depending on, you know, what clairs you use the most, or most of the time you can see like an outline, like I do. I'll see an outline of somebody
I see
in my mind.
Right here on the top of their head.
Right. Absolutely.
And all my kids do that too. They're able to see that. It's cool. Yeah.
You know, the color is the hardest one for a lot of people that aren't practiced at it, but everybody can see auras if you know how to do it. We do that also in my sessions that we do. I teach them how to see auras. But seeing the color, Erik says it's not as easy if you're not practiced at it. There are ways, there are little tools and things that you can use to try to get better, just like with anything, you know, like with the visualizing and stuff. But that's another sign, huh?
A cool way that I learned from somebody to see auras is get a person to stand up against a white wall.
Right.
And then after a while, just concentrate, and then have them move away. And whatever color that is, that kind of stays, with one exception, is their aura. Now, if it's a complementary color, like you know, they're wearing red and they move away and you see green, it's probably not the, you know, could be, but
Right, right.
so
Right. And the aura colors are usually the colors of the chakra colors, at different shades. They'll change shades, they'll change shape, you know.
yeah.
The aura, seeing the aura is about seeing with your peripheral vision is what it
Oh
is.
yeah.
So as long as you're not focused straight on the spot where you think you're
Yeah.
looking at the aura, you want to like look kind of past it, but don't focus on the behind the
Right.
wall. You don't want on the wall, but just kind of past, and then you'll see an outline. So and it's, you know, there's ways to do it. I mean, you know, to where you can bring it in pretty good and then get used to it. It's just practice, you know,
Yeah,
like with everything.
absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, so that's another way he says that is a sign that your clairvoyance is getting stronger. He says another thing is, and this is funny, I don't know if I'm a weirdo for this or not, but when I started getting stronger with my clairvoyance, he's saying you get like a sense, like you'll get a tingle or a
Oh,
warmth or a sensation. And
wow.
I used to get like a twitch, and I took a video of it one time
Oh,
because I couldn't
cool.
like see it. So I took like this video to see if it was really happening. And it was like, and I thought, am I having, you know, being in the medical field automatically, that's just a nervous twitch, you know, like your
Yeah,
eye gets
right.
a twitch, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
But I never had it before, and I've never had it since. Just a certain
Interesting.
couple months. It went on for a couple months, and it would just twitch. My skin would move right
So
here.
cool. That's a
Yeah, it
weird
was so
place
weird.
to have a regular myoclonic tick.
Right, right. It's
Yeah.
usually around. It's usually around your
Yeah,
eye, you know, or up above right here sometimes. But
yeah.
never. I've never had it here. Sometimes it would be a little bit over, but mostly it was in, you know, around the center. So you'll have sensations. You'll get different. Sometimes it'll be warm. It'll be tingly. He also says that you'll get like a buzzing sometimes, like
Oh,
you'll
wow.
even get buzzing, like not the, what is it called, the with the ringing in the ears, a tinnitus or
Yeah, not that.
uh, yeah, not that, but you'll just know, because the way you know that it's not usually a medical condition, first of all, you don't have anything detrimental following it,
Yeah.
like losing your hearing
Oh my
from a ringing
gosh.
in the ear,
Yeah.
or it doesn't last. He says it's temporary. All of them are temporary, you know,
Okay.
different things that you go through, because you adjust, you get used
Yeah.
to it, your body gets
Right.
used to it. So another thing is, he says is, yeah, that's one, that's a big one, hard to sleep. You keep waking up,
Oh,
and sometimes it's because of getting these vivid dreams,
yeah.
you know. Sometimes they'll knock you out of your sleep,
Hmm.
sometimes, he says.
Wow.
But some people that already have this problem, he said, um, he's saying that it will be like more sporadic, like more often, you know, but
Okay.
it's temporary. Again, this is temporary, he says,
Okay.
and it's mostly because of your, you know, more visuals you get, the more active your mind is
Yeah.
at night while you're sleeping. So it's just getting better. That's all. And oh yeah, he's saying flashes. Like you'll
Yeah.
get flashes, like when you close your eyes, you'll get like flashes of light and stuff. I
Yeah.
still, to this day, if I'm doing healings or something, I will get like greens and lavenders that I see with my eyes closed.
Wow.
So you'll get things like that, you know. You can close your eyes, and as you just envision, try this, as you envision divine light coming in, you know, it's like you'll get like the purple and green kind of behind the eyelids in a way,
Yeah.
flashing, and those get stronger. Those get a lot
Is it a good way
stronger.
to practice, like trying to visualize different things or colors or numbers or whatever with your
Yep,
eyes closed?
absolutely. Any kind of visualization is the best way to practice with clairvoyance, because that's what it is. I like to call it the spiritual imagination. Now, I know imagination maybe sounds like it's not something real, but our imagination is real. And that's most of the
Yeah.
time what you feel like when you're doing psychic mediumship when you first start. You
Yeah.
think you're making it all up. You think it's your imagination because that's what you're used to. But I call it that because it's just what it feels like. It's like
Yeah.
the spirit, because that's where the spirit info comes, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah. So, and then he just says the last one that he says, and there's others, but these are the main ones. You'll be able to visualize better and manifest better. Things will
Ooh,
come to you more. Manifesting will come to you more
nice.
because your visualization works better.
Nice.
And you believe it, any kind of, like he says, like meditating or like visual focus work, any of that stuff's gonna, strengthen it. But when you start noticing the things coming in, that you're manifesting, that's a
Right.
sign too. So yeah,
Very
absolutely.
good.
What was the other thing? So that's those are all the signs that it's getting better. I was thinking, what else, Eric? What else? Oh, he's just saying that there's ways to practice like all your clairs, to practice psychic mediumship. Just anything you can do to improve on paying attention to each one individually
Yeah.
helps, but with the clairvoyance, just notice it more, just pay attention more.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't think to pay attention to what's coming through in a situation you're in or what you're doing, and that's really going to help a lot, he says. I'm listening to him to see what else, if there's anything more. No, he's just saying,
That's a lot
yeah,
already.
it is. He's
A
saying the
lot of
most
homework.
important, huh?
We have a
What?
lot of homework to do.
I know, huh?
That's
He says most important is to be consistent and do it as many times as you can, like with it, like as much as you
Yeah.
can, he's saying. So
Okay.
be consistent and do it as much as you can, and you're really going to see a difference. You will,
But
So
it takes dedication. Put it on
yeah,
your to-do list. Practice, practice. You're
yeah,
right.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm terrible
and
about
and just trust. He says,
yeah.
trust it, because the validation is the best way. The validation is the best way to, so anything you can do to get validation back for what you're seeing, really helps. But even practice psychic readings, just tell
Yeah.
somebody, I'm just practicing my clairvoyance,
Yeah.
He says that, long time ago, and maybe some still to this day, but they used to think clairvoyance was the word for psychic
Yeah.
ability, because that was the clair they only really thought about,
Yeah.
the clear seeing. But there are more, and I know we're going to have other
Oh
videos on
yeah.
them. So,
Oh yeah.
so
I hope you will continue us in this series. Well,
oh,
maybe
I'd love
our
to.
audience next or whatever you think. That's fun.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love
All
to.
righty.
So I think that.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I love you both. I love all of you
Love,
guys. Hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the next little Professor Erik lesson. And check out Ginger by clicking on her link below. Bye, everyone.
he says, love you, Mama, and I love you too.
Love you.
Bye. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.